Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The outraged accusation from Brooke is that Ivy goes behind Steffy's back. According to Tuesday, October 29th, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke Logan and Hope Logan Carter Walton will need to carefully choose how they respond to Steffy Forrester's interruption. Carter said the three of them were discussing work when Steffy discovered them huddled up in the design office. Since this involves Forrester Creations, Steffy is now demanding updates, but Hope and Carter were actually persuading Brooke to keep quiet about their developing romance. Brooke, Hope, and Carter might pretend to be having a follow-up conversation with Steffy's previous expansion pitch because none of them will want to tell him that. Regarding Steffy, she may soon express her thoughts since she is beginning to believe that Hope is deceiving Carter. Then, in Tuesday's B&B episode, Brooke will become agitated and accuse Ridge Forrester of something terrible involving his daughter. Maybe Brooke will agree with Carter that Steffy's personal problems are interfering with her ability to do business, particularly with Hope and her line. Brooke won't agree with Ridge's defense of Steffy as someone who can always act professionally. Brooke will likely believe that Steffy is targeting Hope and attempting to cause her suffering. Ivy Forrester will also meet with Ridge at some point. Ivy's jewelry line was quickly shut down by Steffy, but Eric Forrester would much want to see her return to Forrester Creations. Ivy will then make the decision to approach Ridge directly with her proposition in the hopes that he will agree with her idea. Since Ivy has taken in her niece, Electra Forrester's name will undoubtedly be mentioned as well. It appears that Ridge will eventually concur that bringing the jewelry line back to life could be advantageous because Ivy will believe she can achieve big things for Forrester with Electra's assistance. Perhaps Ridge will change Steffy's mind and make a forecast that will persuade Steffy to do this. In any event, it appears that after Ridge weighs in, Ivy and Electra will have some positive news to rejoice about. But according to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy will make some more significant decisions in the upcoming episodes that will impact Forrester Creations' future, so pay attention. Steffy's revelation, Carter and Hope cornered, Eric's executive decision. A recap of The Bold and the Beautiful Monday, October 28th, Carter and Hope cornered, Steffy's disclosure, and Eric's executive decision. Finally, here is The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Monday, October 28th, 2024. John McCook's character, Eric Forrester, decides on the luxury umbrella pitch in today's episode. Highlights of The Bold and the Beautiful recap. There's a disclosure from Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Additionally, Hope Logan and Carter Walton are in a tight spot. B&B recap, the discovery of Brooke Logan. Carter and Hope make out, according to the B&B recap for Monday, October 28th. Hope is lying on a desk and Carter is bending over her. Carter is urged by Hope to close the door quickly, but Brooke enters before he can do so. "I'm sorry." Brooke is taken aback. Eric hears Steffy's tirade about Carter. The COO is only searching for fresh chances, Eric thinks. Carter's luxury umbrella pitch is incredible, according to Eric. In agreement is Ridge Forrester. It's an intriguing concept, according to Eric. Eric mentions how enraged Zend Forrester Dominguez and Hope were over it. Eric, however, asserts that it will never occur. Steffy, Ridge, and Eric argue over Carter's pitch. They don't currently have to answer to investors or shareholders, Steffy reminds them. Ridge is curious about Carter's motivations for taking this risk at this time. Read more. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Is Electra the new Luna, Forrester edition, not as pure as she seems? Hope Logan explains the recap of The Bold and the Beautiful. Carter and Hope attempt to clarify. It is not what it appears to be. Brooke is aware of what she observed. Carter expresses regret. They weren't playing around, according to Hope. Brooke understands as Hope and Carter exchange glances. After that meeting, Brooke understands it makes sense, despite her first surprise. Hope makes it clear that she firmly thinks Carter's vision is possible. Carter continues by saying that he firmly thinks that there is hope for the future. Steffy, according to Brooke, won't see it that way. Hope implores Brooke to remain silent so that nobody is aware of this. In particular, Hope wishes for Brooke to keep Ridge in the dark. Carter has been considering this for years, according to Eric. Therefore, Ridge wonders why Carter suppressed these dreams for so long. Carter brings it up every time they speak, and Steffy says it wasn't an unexpected development. According to Ridge, Carter has never expressed a desire to change the family business. According to Eric, this transforms Forrester Creations from a fashion house into a brand. Eric is unwilling to do it. However, if it succeeds, Ridge argues, there might be enormous financial gains. The risk is too high, in Eric's opinion. Ridge concurs with Carter that they are at the pinnacle of the fashion industry. Perhaps a change is in order. Eric believes it will force them into insolvency. They would have to cede some of their authority to investors, Steffy adds. According to Ridge, creatives dislike relinquishing authority. Carter is correct, Ridge believes, but why now? According to Eric, FC is a family-run company. According to Steffy, Carter merely wants a brighter future for everybody. Steffy is asked what she wants by Eric. They all keep arguing. The biggest risk of my life was just starting the business, says Eric. Carter has a spotless record. According to Steffy, they do not require shareholders to respond to every choice they make. A Forrester Creations original, according to Eric, is a work of art. They create trends rather than following them. The real Carter, in Eric's opinion, would be equally cautious. For Eric, something doesn't stack up. As Brooke continues to take it all in, Hope buttons up her shirt, according to the Bold and the Beautiful recap for Monday, October 28th. Carter is asked by Brooke if Katie Logan, Heather Tom, is aware. Katie is unsure. Brooke is curious as to why this is being kept a secret. Is it merely a passing fancy? A comeback? Hope and Carter want to see where this goes before anyone finds out because they don't yet know what it is. Carter goes on to say that due to the anxiety at work, they must be silent. Brooke is urged to remain silent by Hope. Normally, Steffy and Carter get along great and Steffy trusts Carter. Something seems off lately, Steffy adds. According to Eric, Carter appears to have his own ideas about the business. Oh no. According to Eric, their focus has never been just on making money. Eric claims that this business offers comfort. It has to do with beauty. Steffy mentions how fervently Carter supports the Logan family. According to Steffy, Carter doesn't appear to support her choices. According to Eric, Steffy has shown Hope's line a great deal of patience. Ashley Brewer's character Ivy Forrester is addressed. Ivy wants to join Eric. According to Steffy, Carter ought to have informed them beforehand. According to Steffy, the timing was perfect, everything happened at once. Steffy questions whether Hope is influencing Carter in any way. Brooke hesitates. Don't you want us to take our time with this? Asks Hope. Brooke responds, obviously. Hope and Carter clarify that they wish to resolve this without everyone voicing their thoughts or concerns. Carter talks about Hope with Brooke. Hope then turns around and speaks passionately about Carter. Throughout the conversation, integrity and inspiration are frequently mentioned. Ivy's chance, Steffy ignored, dangerous charge. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful Tuesday, October 29th, alarming accusation, Steffy ignored, Ivy's opportunity. Here are spoilers for Tuesday, October 29th, 2024's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate that Ivy Forrester will take advantage of a situation to achieve her goals in tomorrow's episode. But will Ivy's decision to avoid Steffy Forrester Finnegan have repercussions? Additionally, Brooke Logan accuses Steffy in a frightening way in front of Ridge Forrester. Find out what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera by reading on. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Ivy Forrester's chance. According to BMB teasers for Tuesday, October 29th, Ivy will have a chance to achieve her goals. Steffy rejected Ivy because she didn't think the moment was right. But Steffy also thought Carter Walton had taken her by surprise. Ivy and Electra Forrester visited Eric Forrester following Steffy's rejection. Ivy told Eric that if Steffy didn't stop it, the line might be revived and she might work for the family business. Read more. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Is Elektra the new Luna, Forrester edition, not as pure as she seems? On Tuesday, October 29th, supporters can anticipate that Steffy will be passed over. Elektra and Ivy visit Forrester Creations. Ivy and Elektra meet with Eric and Ridge as Steffy confronts Brooke, Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Carter. It is hinted that Ivy goes to Ridge instead of Steffy to acquire what she wants. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Brooke Logan's serious charge. According to Tuesday, October 29th, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Brooke will make a shocking charge. Brooke makes an accusation against Steffy when speaking with Ridge. Steffy is likely being accused of allowing her emotions to influence her business choices. A heated argument may break out if Ridge informs Brooke that Steffy believes Hope is manipulating Carter. Fans may also anticipate what happens when Steffy presses Carter, Hope, and Brooke for answers on Tuesday, October 29th. Steffy believes that Carter is being manipulated by Hope. Brooke may have just learned about Hope, but Steffy may not. Will Spencer ought to cross paths with Elektra once more? But Will may have some inquiries. Recall that Zend Forrester Dominguez informed Will that they had never heard of Elektra and did not have a jewelry line. Thus, it can be a stressful reunion if Will encounters Elektra again. On Tuesday, October 29th, 2024, whose narrative are you most excited to see? What do you think will happen to Ridge, Brooke, Carter, and Hope? What lies ahead for Will, Elektra, Ivy, Steffy, Eric, and the other characters? In a world already brimming with complicated relationships and tense family ties, Brooke Logan's unexpected sighting has sent shockwaves through the Forrester and Logan families, potentially altering the trajectory of her daughter Hope's future. Brooke's sighting wasn't just any ordinary event but one that ignited a storm of realizations, suspicions, and introspections that would shake up existing dynamics and force several characters to reevaluate their choices and priorities. When Brooke caught sight of something unexpected, an intimate moment between Hope and another Forrester Creations executive, it set off alarm bells, revealing a side of Hope that Brooke hadn't anticipated. Hope's decision to pursue a more daring course, both in her professional and personal lives, now forces everyone around her to consider what it could mean for her, her family, and her future. #### Brooke's sighting, the moment that sparked it all. The unexpected moment occurred when Brooke, on a routine visit to Forrester Creations, stumbled upon Hope in an intense, private conversation with Carter Walton. Carter, already at the center of many controversies due to his entanglements in complicated relationships within the Forrester world, was seen exchanging what appeared to be more than just professional words with Hope. For Brooke, a mother who has always held high hopes and even higher expectations for her daughter, the sight was troubling, pushing her to confront not only Hope's intentions but also her own fears for her daughter's future. Brooke's discovery left her reeling as she began to suspect that Hope might be slipping down a dangerous path, much like Brooke herself had in the past. This sighting marked a turning point for Brooke, challenging her perceptions and forcing her to confront her daughter about her choices. ### Hope's hidden struggles and newfound independence. Brooke's intervention, however, wasn't met with the open arms or willingness to listen that she had hoped for. Instead, Hope, who has been feeling trapped under her mother's expectations and the weight of her role at Forrester Creations, began to reveal a side of herself that had been simmering beneath the surface. Hope has always felt the pressure of living up to the Logan name while balancing her obligations within the Forrester family. Yet lately, she has been grappling with a profound sense of disillusionment, particularly with her relationships and her career direction. Caught between her desire to assert her independence and the expectations placed upon her, Hope has been exploring a more daring, unfiltered approach to life. Brooke's sighting, in fact, wasn't the cause of Hope's newfound determination but rather a catalyst that prompted Hope to reveal her intentions to break free from the life that has, until now, been carefully mapped out for her. Seeing her mother's reaction only strengthened Hope's resolve, pushing her toward a path of self-discovery and newfound autonomy. For the first time, Hope was prepared to set boundaries, not just with Brooke, but with everyone who had been steering her life. Her decision to start forging her own path, despite her mother's fears, marked a significant turning point, and Brooke's shock was just the beginning of the family's internal conflicts. Hashtag Brooke's confrontation, a mother-daughter showdown. Unable to contain her concern, Brooke confronted Hope about the sighting, hoping to dissuade her from any decisions she might regret. However, the conversation quickly spiraled into a heated confrontation, with both women laying bare their frustrations. Brooke voiced her fears, worried that Hope was following in her own footsteps by getting involved in tangled relationships and making choices that could lead to heartbreak and public scandal. Hope, on the other hand, pushed back against her mother's interference, frustrated that Brooke seemed unable to trust her judgment. This mother-daughter showdown was particularly charged, given Brooke's complex history with romance and public scrutiny, a history that Hope had often vowed to avoid. Yet, as Hope pointed out, she is not her mother and has no intention of making the same mistakes. Her ambitions go beyond what her family might approve of, and she's ready to explore them even if it means leaving behind her mother's protection. Brooke's attempt to assert her influence only served to deepen the rift, as Hope reaffirmed her commitment to follow her instincts and make choices independently. The clash left Brooke feeling isolated and powerless, faced with the realization that her daughter was no longer the young girl she could shield from the world's complexities. Hashtag a new professional path, Hope's bold move. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Hope began making strategic decisions that signaled her departure from her mother's influence. She announced plans to take a fresh approach to her role at Forrester Creations, one that aligned more closely with her own vision and aspirations. Rather than remaining in the shadows or adhering to the conservative values that Brooke had instilled in her, Hope was prepared to take risks. She initiated discussions with Carter and other key figures within the company, exploring bolder, more creative directions for her brand, a decision that was both exciting and controversial. Hope's actions raised eyebrows, especially as she chose to collaborate with individuals who didn't necessarily have her family's approval. But for Hope, this shift represented more than a professional decision, it was a statement of her autonomy. Her willingness to break from the traditional path her mother envisioned showed her family, and the world, that she was ready to carve out her own legacy. Brooke's sighting may have triggered the initial changes, but Hope's vision quickly became larger than any single incident. Her new course, independent of family expectations, began to draw attention not only within the company but throughout the fashion world, establishing her as a formidable figure in her own right. Hashtag family fallout, shifting loyalties and new alliances. Hope's defiance, however, created ripples of conflict and shifting alliances within the family. Brooke, feeling increasingly alienated, turned to Ridge for support, hoping that he would intervene and help sway Hope back onto a safer path. Ridge, who had always been a steadying influence on Hope, was sympathetic to Brooke's concerns but found himself impressed by Hope's resolve. While he empathized with Brooke's fear of losing control, he also recognized that Hope's determination to create her own identity was a natural progression of her maturity. Ridge's balanced approach created a divide, with Brooke feeling unsupported in her bid to protect Hope from what she saw as reckless decisions. Meanwhile, other family members, including Steffy and Thomas, began to rally around Hope, respecting her boldness and her desire to modernize the company's image. Steffy, who has often been a fierce competitor, even acknowledged Hope's potential, suggesting that their collaboration could bring a new dimension to Forrester Creations. Thomas, too, found himself drawn to Hope's newfound courage and vision, admiring her ability to stand up to family pressures and forge her own path. These new alliances only intensified Brooke's feeling of betrayal as she watched her daughter gather support from unexpected quarters, creating a rift that extended beyond just a mother-daughter disagreement. Hashtag Brooke's internal struggle, letting go of control. As Hope continued to assert her independence, Brooke was forced to confront her own internal conflicts. Her fear of Hope repeating her past mistakes stemmed not only from genuine concern but from Brooke's struggle with her own legacy. Brooke's life has been marked by intense relationships, scandal, and public judgment, a pattern she hoped to spare Hope from. But in her attempts to shield her daughter, Brooke realized she had been trying to control Hope's life in a way that ultimately stifled her. The sighting had become a mirror, reflecting not just Hope's choices but Brooke's need to control, to prevent her daughter from experiencing pain or regret. Recognizing this, Brooke began to consider whether her fears were more about her own unresolved insecurities than about Hope's actual risks. The process of letting go was painful, but as she watched Hope navigate her choices with determination and grace, Brooke started to understand that her daughter was more resilient and self-aware than she'd ever given her credit for. Hope's new direction, a legacy of her own. Hope's decision to pursue a more independent path marked the beginning of a new era, not only for her but for the Logan and Forrester families. Her shift in priorities was more than just a rebellion against her mother's expectations, it was a testament to her strength and vision. Hope's journey allowed her to redefine what it means to be part of both the Logan and Forrester legacies, creating a bridge between her family's traditional values and her own modern ideals. By embracing her individuality, Hope not only solidified her position within Forrester Creations but also set a powerful example for others, proving that one can honor family roots while pursuing personal dreams. In the end, Brooke's sighting may have sparked the initial upheaval, but it was Hope's response that redefined the narrative. Through her journey, Hope showed that true strength comes from balancing familial love with personal autonomy. Brooke's sighting had changed the game, but Hope's bold choices created a legacy all her own, setting the stage for a future filled with promise, resilience, and independence.